The world is in a strange place right now. For a while, it's been frustrating to watch as issues like climate change aren't taken seriously by those who are in power. In the United States, we can't even agree people deserve healthcare. With the current pandemic, it feels we are really entering deeper into the unknown. It seems fitting then to remember the words of the woodsman from Over the Garden Wall.
Keep hearty in both body and spirit, and you shall be safe.
Over the Garden Wall, if you haven't seen it, is a miniseries about two boys, Wirt and Greg, who find themselves lost in a strange world, trying to find their way back home. There's a lot I could say about this series, and maybe at some point I'll have a chance to revisit this, but there's an important message I think we could use right now, because I do think there is hope to be found even in the current situation. And I don't want to offer just platitudes. I'll be talking about what people are already doing and provide some resources to information you can use. After all, the woodsman's words didn't help Wirt and Greg. In fact, they were running from him because they thought he might actually be the beast. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Who is the woodsman?
I grind the horrid hazelwood trees into oil to keep this lantern lit. This is my lot in life. This is my burden.
The woodsman has spent years wandering the forest doing nothing but trying to keep his lantern lit, because the woodsman accepted a deal with the beast to place his daughter's soul in the lantern to save her. So the woodsman spends all of his time isolated in the woods of the unknown. His only company is the beast. His work provides no value for himself other than trying to hold back the fear of losing his daughter. Some might say the woodsman has been alienated from his labor. So why were Wirt and Greg running from him, and how did they think he was the beast?
Wait, lantern? The woodsman was the guy with the weird lantern, not the beast.
He who carries the dark lantern must be the beast.
I don't think this was just a misunderstanding on the part of the villagers. See, the woodsman believes he is protecting others by taking on this burden. But he is actually doing the work of the beast. He only discovers he has been tricked when the beast offers the job to Wirt. Wirt almost accepts out of fear for his brother, but then he wonders, what's in this for the boss? I mean, the beast.
I'm trying to help you.
You're not trying to help me. You just have some weird obsession with keeping this lantern lit.
This feels so familiar. Someone in a position of power insisting they're just trying to help. They just require a little more sacrifice from us.
Cut them down with your axe. Go, now!
And this repeats until more and more have given everything. Until we are no longer able to deny the cost.
You've been grinding up lost souls for years.
I didn't know this is where the hazelwood trees came from.
They will insist how good we have it, and offer warnings of how much worse it could be.
Are you ready to see true darkness?
This isn't the only time we have seen this play out.
You know I do this for you, child. Keeping you busy is the only way to keep the evil spirit from driving you to wickedness.
Earlier in the series, Wirt releases a girl, Lorna, from an evil spirit that causes her to devour people. Auntie Whispers, who has watched over Lorna, had the power to do this all along. Now, we have no way of knowing if Auntie Whispers chose to never free Lorna intentionally, or if she just never thought of such a simple solution. Personally, I don't trust someone who is benefiting from free child labor. At the very least, it's safe to say there were incentives in place that could have affected how hard Auntie Whispers searched for alternatives, since the current solution worked just fine for her. And it sure is convenient Auntie Whispers has just the thing that commands the spirit. I mean, we don't know how Lorna came to be possessed in the first place by the spirit, not Auntie Whispers. Well, okay, maybe both. Also, Auntie Whispers sure consumes a lot of oily turtles, which just one turned this dog into this, so yeah. I guess she does at least warn Wirt and Greg about her sister, who just also happens to want free child labor.
What?
What I love about Wirt's panic solution is it feels almost laughable in its simplicity.
Stop making Lorna do bad stuff, spirit. And also go away and don't come back.
Something absurd, like one of Greg's rock facts.
Did you know that if you soak a raisin in grape juice, it turns into a grape? It's a rock fact!
My favorite was the idea that dinosaurs actually had giant ears, but everyone forgot because the ears don't have bones. It just paints this ludicrous image while having a strange plausibility to it. Like, our ears don't have bones, so why not? The reason I bring up Greg's rock facts is that I actually think they serve as a central theme here. See, every other character is always certain they are correct. Either that something must be done or that something absolutely cannot be done. Even Wirt is the same way. He just flip-flops between those two positions, unable to make up his mind. Greg doesn't care at all if he is correct. He openly admits if he thought something wrong.
Oh, for some reason I thought that old lady was the people eater.
This allows Greg to be more curious, more open to explore possibilities. It's not a foolishness, but a strength. Okay, sometimes it is foolishness.
Greg, why did you do that?
This allows Greg to be more curious, more open to explore possibilities. Greg shows us the carefree joy of a child not beholden to the expectations of the systems that already exist. There's a curiosity that hasn't been squashed yet, that allows children to consider possibilities and futures many of us have long given up on. Even when others try to insist there is no hope or to tell Greg the current bad situation is his fault,
Greg, you led the beast right to us with your candy.
Greg persists. He doesn't give up hope. He always assumes they are never completely lost. What put him in danger was Wirt's lack of hope. Greg trying to do things in a more traditional way like his brother wanted. But even as Greg is slowly turned into an Edelwood tree, he insists he has beaten the beast. And this is true in a way. Not only could Greg have escaped on his own, it was acting more like Greg that allowed Wirt to best the beast.
Horse, I'm just gonna pretend like I can ride you, all right?
A willingness to be wrong and not accepting the status quo because he wasn't okay with the result.
I'm not just gonna wander around in the woods for the rest of my life.
It is important to remember that while there are risks to trying something new, we have to consider the risks of not trying at all. We are told capitalism is the most efficient way to distribute resources, while simultaneously saying not everyone can have food, housing, or healthcare. We've known for decades about climate change, and yet have continued on our course. Is this somehow being more realistic? The current situation is reminding us what work is really essential, and we know more serious problems are coming. If we don't take a new approach, things will get even worse. Continuing with tradition can be comforting. We can tell ourselves that we did all we could because this is just the way things are. Change brings us into the unknown. And being in the unknown is scary. Because once we try to change, we can't go back to the way things were. Change is permanent and messy. Doing something new requires things to go wrong and learn from them along the way. Change is coming. And I think we can find a better way by joining together. We cannot hope someone will make everything right for us.
I've got my own problems to take care of.
We must remember that anything is possible if we keep our minds to it. Not as individuals, but as a collective. We can make other realities come true. Already, we are starting to see mutual aid groups pop up. Rent strikes, workers fighting for more rights, and planning for general strikes. I provided some links to resources down below. If you are in need of help, or want to participate in making things better, please check them out. Just remember, it's important that you don't act alone. Thanks for watching, everyone. How are you being affected by all of this? Do you have supports in your area? Let me know in the comments so we can learn from each other. Please stay home and as safe as you can. And remember, you're not alone.
As autumn